Hi, I'm Rachel Ayala, and we're going to be talking about the lymphatic system today. Okay, so today I have my lovely assistant, my daughter, Stella, who's going to be my model here, and I'm going to point out some of the lymphatic organs. First, we can talk about the spleen, which is the largest lymphatic organ, and that contains white blood cells. And it's kind of the place where our blood cells go to die. And the spleen is right underneath the rib cage, and you can see she's very active. So it's going to be hard to see, but underneath the rib cage, that's where the spleen is. Okay, that would be where the spleen is. And our thymus is also a very important organ, and that's where T cells mature. And T cells, they help destroy an infection or cancerous cells, and that's up here, kind of where the sternum is. The tonsils are a large cluster of lymphatic cells that they're found in the pharynx, so you can't. So that would be down in her throat, which she's not going to show me. We're not going to be able to see. But her tonsils are in her pharynx and her throat, in the very back, and so we have a large cluster of cells there. Also, in her neck here, you would find a lot of cervical lymph nodes. You would also find a lot of lymph nodes in her axillary area, right here in the armpit. You would find a lot of lymph nodes there, axillary lymph nodes. Okay, so Peyer's patches, like in the small intestines, that would be in the stomach, that would be right here in her stomach. And they're organized lymphoid follicles, and they're an important part in the lymphoid tissues of the gut. Okay, and so that's down in this region too. You would also find the appendix. Okay, so that's kind of lower right here, the appendix. So the appendix is has it's like a finger-like projection, and it's attached to the right iliac part of the intestines. Okay, and those are the lymphatic organs we're going to be talking about today. The lymphatic system may be one of my favorite systems. Or my favorite. I think it's so fascinating, and so one of the ways, there's many ways that our lymph fluid is moved and throughout the body. So the heart is it needs to pump blood through all our body, even to the capillaries, and to do that it has to pump pretty hard, and so that pressure pushes fluid out of the veins, and especially the capillaries. It pushes fluid out, interstitial fluid. So also, it could also be extra cellular fluid, and that fluid is made up of oxygen, glucose, amino acids, and other nutrients and proteins, and that makes up lymph. We call it lymph fluid. And our body is so incredible. It has this really smart system of one-way valves through our lymph vessels and capillaries, and those one-way valves are much like the one-way valves in our heart, which prevent fluid going back and always pushes it forward. On these lymph vessels, there's a small amount of smooth muscle which can contract and push the lymph fluid forward. Also, as our skeletal muscles move, they're able to kind of push the lymph fluid through the system. And the lymph, they're punctuated by small intervals at lymph nodes. Okay, and once the fluid enters the lymphatic system, it goes into lymph vessels, and then these lymph vessels, they converge into what's called lymphatics, and those converge to make the lymph trunks. And there's 2 trunks, and both of these trunks are going to be dumping into the superior vena cava. And that's how the lymph goes throughout the body, and then that circuit is done over and over again, and that once it's dumped back into the superior vena cava, it's dumped into the blood again, and then that blood is pushed throughout our body, and then some of that fluid from the blood is pushed out back into the lymphatic system. And that's it. Thank you so much. Bye.